Well, thank you so much for joining us on this call. We're here to examine the Aurum Foundation, a fabulous platform that we discovered just earlier this year. I don't work for the company myself. I'm not paid to share this information. I'm an independent consultant, an affiliate. I just the views that I express are my own. The due diligence that I share is my own. Of course, you're entitled to do your very own. I always recommend getting involved in any business. Go speak to somebody who understands it. Go speak to an expert. If you're getting involved in the catering or the restaurant business, go speak to a restaurant or go and speak to someone that's run a restaurant. Learn about it. If you're going to get involved in any profession, speak to an expert on that subject and take good advice. So with that done, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a little bit about Aurum. Now, I was pleasantly surprised to see that Bryan Benson is the one of the co-founders, but also he's the acting CEO, the chief executive officer. This is very, very important. Bryan's from the United States, born and reared in Santa Barbara, I believe, and then he headed south to Southern California to do his education. He went to San Diego University down there, and then he went straight into employment, and he worked with the banks. He worked for Morgan Stanley, a very, very famous bank, very reputable bank. And there he became one of their top traders, and he did very well with Morgan Stanley. When he left Morgan Stanley, he went into the Web3 space. Now, Web3, some of you know what it is, some of you don't. But he got involved with a company called Binance. And again, not everybody knows of Binance. Don't be misled. There's quite a few people adopting and hearing about cryptocurrency or just hearing this word Binance. Binance is one of these companies that came like in under a year to this unicorn status. It was very, very, very popular, faster than Microsoft, faster than Tesla, faster than Apple. Binance was one of these companies, and Bryan was the director there, and he was responsible for opening all of South America. And why do we like that? Because we're dealing with the captain of this ship who has experience. He's traveled these waters. He's been here before. He's been in this industry, and he's creating two new exchanges for us, a decentralized one and a centralized one. And that's coming up possibly by the end of this year. But we've got a lot of products in the workings right now for us that we can share with you tonight. So that's a little bit about Bryan Benson. If you Google him, you'll find him all over Google. This is great news. He's not some actor. He is the Bryan Benson from Binance. You can see Binance on his shirt. You can see it down there on his T-shirt. You can see old images, younger images. There's a profile here. The guy exists. And well, he certainly exists because Forbes magazine are speaking very favorable about Aurum. They mentioned that Aurum provides institutional grade trading for us. We also noticed that Aurum and the issuing bank have agreed that Aurum can co-brand with Visa, which is not every company can do that. Obviously, the issuing bank has done its homework. It's done its due diligence. That's good from our point of view as consumers, that they have checked obviously their share capital, their ownership, their licenses, their company offices. And with that said, they permit them to issue this fantastic card that we're going to talk about a little bit later. And not only that, Mr. Bryan Benson is one of the main speakers at the upcoming Singapore event at the beginning of next month. In fact, this is the largest blockchain event in the world. It's called Token 2049. You can see the CEO of Aurum is one of the main speakers there. But guess who he's speaking alongside? He's speaking alongside his old buddy, his old friend, Richard Teng. Now, Richard was an employee of Binance when Bryan was an employee, because the CEO at that point in time was a guy called CZ, a very famous guy. CZ has moved on, and Richard, like a friend of Bryan's, has now taken the reins of Binance. He's the CEO, whereas Bryan is now the CEO of Aurum, and he's opening this exchange. So they're not competitors, but they're friends, and they're both speaking at this big, big event, as well as the founder of Tron. You're familiar with Tron, TRX, USDT, TRC20, that Tron version, that Tron network. Justin Sun, he's speaking at the event, and many, many more. There'll be more than 10,000 people here. And there's an opportunity for everyone in this call to qualify for not only your flights to this event, but 3 nights accommodation in 5-star all expenses, to spend time with Bryan Benson, the CEO, to enjoy that event. And why not take in the Formula One that's happening at the same point in time? So get back to the person that invited you here to find out how you might be one of these lucky winners. It's not a raffle. It's based on production. You produce the goods, you're going to Singapore. Now, with that said, let's hear from Bryan Benson himself. This is very important. I want you to listen carefully. He wants to create a unicorn company, which is something that he did over in Binance. He wants to do that again. In Binance, he was an employee. Here, he's a co-founder and a CEO. So he wants to create 1,000 millionaires. That's the second thing. The third thing, he wants to create a $1 billion business. Have a listen.
I think if I have to sum it up in one word, it's ecosystem. At Aurum, we're building an ecosystem, and we're really trying to focus on getting this thing to a unicorn status. And what I like to say is we want to create 1,000 millionaires. And so if we can do that, then that will be a $1 billion business. That will be a unicorn, and we'll be very excited if we can accomplish that. And we're well on our way to that. So
you heard it from himself. They're well on the way to that because he witnessed at Binance so many people created incredible wealth in the early days of cryptocurrency when it was in the Wild West back then. Now it's 15 years old. Blockchain has been around. Now it's mature. Now it's been adopted. Now they're talking favorably. Now many of the governments are getting behind it. Now is the time. And Bryan's going to open 2 exchanges for us. To get involved with the project, it's going to cost you $20 for the year. Not bad. $20 gives you access to all of their products and all of their upcoming products, except this Visa card that I showed you. That is a different project. I'll talk about that in a moment. But $20 gives you full access to the platform to enjoy their trading products for 12 months. So great news. There's no freebies, guys, but for $20, you can get started. Tonight, I want to share just 4 of the products. And why only 4? Is because I've only got experience with 4 of these products. Whilst there are more, I'm only happy to talk about a product I've used and understand a little bit myself. So I'm going to talk about the EXI bot, which is sensational. I'm going to talk about the ProBot, again, a great bot. Not my favorite, but a great bot. I'm going to talk about the ZeusBot, which is very good. It's been very good to me particularly. And I'm going to talk about this card, which is very exciting. So let's take a look at the first product. The first product is called the EXAI bot. It has over 2 years trading history. It has had remarkable results, achieving well over 450%. Better than real estate, better than gold bullion. This product is sensational. The worst it's done, you can see with July 23, it did about 9% that month, which is good. And of course, the best it did was March 24, it did 23%. So this is variable. It depends on the market. It depends on the trading results. But in general, if we take an overview of the entire history, it's achieved in around about 17.5% on average per month. Now, of course, we don't get that 17.5%. No way. That's what the company achieves. What I get is dependent by the deposit we make into our own account. Let me give you an example. Let's say you deposited $150 to test this. You're going to fall into the first category, $150, and you're going to enjoy benefits of, let's say, in around 10% a month, which is quite good. For those of you that can achieve more than that, let's say you were able to do $372. Well, it's going to pop into the second category, the standard category. You're going to get about 11%, slightly better. For those of you who can manage over $1,000, but less than 2,500, you're going to get about 12% or thereabouts. And for those of you who do over 2,500, let's say you did 2,604. Why do I say these funny numbers? Is because there are no packages here. It's not some of these programs where they have 100, a 300, a 500, $1,000 package. Bryan Benson thinks that's nonsense. He never heard tell of that. He thinks that's ridiculous. You can deposit what you need, what you can afford, and what you want to do, and whatever that is, it'll hit a certain category. The bulk of the customers are going to be between $100 and $4,999. Would you agree with that? The bulk of the customers that will be attracted to the platform are probably going to be in the $100 range all the way up to about $499. That's the majority of the customer base. And why do I bring that up? Is because a lot of people will want a company that's healthy. They want a company that's going to be around. They want a company that's not going to suffer and have to lean on revenues from other parts to keep itself ticking. And why I brought this question up to Bryan Benson myself, I said, how do you guys make money if you're paying out all this money? And of course, the answer's on the screen. For those of you, and the majority of customers are getting about 10% a month, the company gets the spread. They're getting 17.5%. So they're going to make 7% a month on those accounts. For those of you able to qualify for 11% a month, the company still gets about 6% a month on those accounts. So that's very profitable. For those of you who get 12%, they're still getting 5%. For those of you who get 13%, and that's going to be the bulk of the customers, they're still making 4%, which is very, very good. In addition to that, they've got that $20 per member per year. Bryan anticipates maybe 10 million customers coming on board, but even with 1 million customers, 1 million customers times $20 gives this company $20 million to pay its bills, to pay its staff, to deal with support for the platform, to deal with the server fees, to deal with product development, to deal with its own taxation. So all of those components were important to me when I was having a look at this company. Who's behind it? Is it structured right? Do they have the finances? Is it sustainable? These are the type of questions I would have. Of course, you're going to have your own questions. I'd like to share with you now a small account, and this account was initiated on the 17th of April this year. 17th of April, you can see in the bottom left. The deposit was 500 to the account, and you can see if you go to the right-hand side of the image now, we're looking down at the 17th of September. So if we take this period from the 17th of April to the 17th of September, we're talking May, June, July, August, September. We're talking about 5 months. This account has achieved $382 in profit. 500 is now 882. Again, I bring this up because a client said to me, he said, well, $300 isn't a lot of money in 5 months. I said, well, the customer didn't make a great deposit. They only did $500, but $382 over 500 is sensational. And they couldn't get this into their head. Well, it's not that good, is it? Well, when you actually do the math, it is quite interesting. To calculate the percentage profit, you put the profit, the 382 over the 500, you multiply it by 100%, and you'll find that this account achieved actually 76% in 5 months. 76%. That is sensational. Another way I relay this to customers so they understand the value is if you purchased a house this year in your locality, in your country, in your town, in your city, and let's pretend you purchased it on the 17th of April, the same time this account was opened up. So 17th of April, you purchased a house for $100,000, okay? And let's say on the 17th of September, somebody offered you 176,400. That's 76.4%. So you bought it for $100,000, and 5 months later, you're getting $176,000. Is that good business? And then they went, wow, yeah, that's pretty good. Because normally it takes a house 10 years to double. You've got 3/4 of the way here in 5 months. So that's one way to look at the math to see how good this really is. So that's just a small account, guys. You can start with less than that. You can start with more than that. It's entirely up to yourself. Here's a larger account. This account was started on the 10th of April this year, and this was a $10,000 account. And just because there are some big customers that are coming on board here, for a 5-week period from the 10th of April to the 16th of May, and you're going to see that 16th of May on the bottom right-hand corner, 16th of May. It's a 5-week period, less one day, and the account, the $10,000 is now sitting at 12,360. So the account has achieved about 23%. The next timestamp was taken on the 24th of June, and you can see the account had grown. It is the same account, commenced on the 10th of April. It is the same account number ending in 1972. You can see the account has jumped up to 15,500. 10,000 has become 15,500 in 10 short weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 weeks goes like a flash. And then on the 7th of July, you can see that same account after 12 weeks has created 74%. That's $17,471. 10,000 is 17,000 in 3 months. Exceptional. And of course, then on the 10th of August, the account had doubled. 10,000 has become 20,000. Again, to put that into perspective, you buy a house on the 10th of April for $100,000, and on the 10th of August, 4 months later, Someone gives you 200,000 for the house. Is that good business? It's a sensational product. And of course, 10th of August. Now, if we look at the 10th of September, you can see the same account ending in 1972, commenced in the 10th of April, is sitting at $24,219. Incredible, incredible results. And one of the reasons it's doing that well is because this little reinvest button has been engaged. When you open an account with this bank, it doesn't compound automatically. Your profit every day goes to your account, and you can withdraw that anytime you want. In fact, you can withdraw every day if you wish. When I mention that to people, they say, well, what are the withdrawal fees? The withdrawal fees are just 1% plus $1, very, very low. I've seen other platforms charge 4%, 6%, 10%. 1% plus $1 is real, real good value, particularly when you're converting cryptocurrency and withdrawing. Now, the reinvest button is up to you to do. The company won't do this for you. You open your own account, you make the deposit to your account, your wallet inside this account. And when you ask it to trade, then it's up to you to engage that reinvest button. If you don't know how to do that, attend our training or speak to the person that invited you. They'll show you how to locate that button if you prefer to compound. If you need cash flow, if you need money every week to pay the bills, then don't turn that on, and you can take out your profit every day. The choice is yours. So a number of options with these products. That's called the EXI bot. It's certainly my favorite. We do have other bots. We've got the ProBot, which is similar to that. It does slightly less because it's not just as old as that one. This one has been operating for, I believe it was the end of March. The ProBot commenced, whereas the other one started in February 2023. So that's why we're getting different results, because the AI is learning technology. It learns from past performance. It learns from previous situations. It learns from previous trades. And in doing so, the data that it accumulates helps it make decisions. Just like ChatGPT, these things can do like 10,000 processes in the blink of an eye in 1 second, faster than humans. And that's why AI is exceptional. You don't have to learn how to trade. You don't have to do anything here. This is all done automatically for you. The ZeusBot, again, another product, and these two products on the right-hand side of your screen, in the yellow and in the blue rectangle, these are found on the Telegram application. Telegram is a decentralized communication portal. I use WhatsApp. Telegram, I'm not that familiar with it, but I've started using it now because of this product, and it's really, really good. For those of you that might have a little bit of Bitcoin sitting around, or we had one friend that had BNB. He bought BNB. I think he bought $500 of BNB about 4 years ago, and he intended to do something on Binance, and he made one transaction, but it was just sitting on Binance doing nothing. Well, he's brought it over here, and now his BNB is growing every day. The little piece that he had is now, the $500 worth is now growing and growing and growing and growing through the ZeusBot. I'll show you how that works. It's quite easy. You go to the Telegram and instead of searching for someone's name, you search for the bank, the Neo Bank. Neo means new. This is the new way of banking, the new digital bank. So it's called the Aurum Neo Bank. When you find this, you just open up the application, you log in with your same credentials, and you get into the app. You have a number of accounts in here already created. You'll have a Bitcoin wallet in here, your own. You'll have your own USDT wallet in here. You'll have a BNB, a Doge. How do you pronounce that? Doge. A Doge wallet, a Pepe wallet. You'll have 5 or 6 wallets in there. You also have to download the Polygon wallet, which is just a click of a couple of buttons. And in there, you can deposit to your own account, and then you can ask the bot to engage that account and start trading. We're going to take a look now at one of these bots, and this happens to be the Bitcoin bot. This was started on the 31st of May. Okay, so this bot's been running 31st of May, 3 months and 2 weeks. 3 months and 3 weeks. 3 months and 3 weeks. Call it 4 months. And the account was deposited, was 0.7 Bitcoin. It was 0.7. Well, of course, if we look at the screen here, we can see 0.81. It used to be 0.7. So you can see the Bitcoin has started to grow with this bot. And you can turn it off and on. You can withdraw it anytime you want. You can take out your profit any day, or you can take your principal if you need it from this product. So Lots of people like this product. The account then grew from 0.7 to 0.81, and then it started making its way north. It headed to 0.82, way up to 0.84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. It went to 0.9. That was 0.2 in profit. Quite a lot of money, 0.2. But it didn't end there. It went to 0.91, 0.92, and just recently it's gone to 0.93. And I know if you're new on this call, these numbers sound incredible, but there are people on this call with you tonight that have watched this account grow. And as it continues to grow on its way to 1 Bitcoin, that's what we're going to show here. We're going to show 0.7 of a Bitcoin make its way all the way to a full Bitcoin using this product. And if you've got a little bit of Bitcoin, you don't have to have 0.7. You might have 0.0007 or 007, and you could try it. In fact, I think the minimum the bot accepts is like $100 worth of Bitcoin, but you can grow your Bitcoin with your arms folded. Essentially, it's all done by the AI. Now, the profit on this account, just for interest's sake, it started at 0.7 and is now sitting at 0.93. So in fact, the profit is only 0.23. So let's see what that's worth. How much is 0.23 Bitcoin in US dollars, please?
0.23 Bitcoins is 25,725 US dollars and 76 cents.
So there you go. This account has made $25,725 effortlessly with no customers, no network, no Zooms. That's your money making you money instead of you having to go to work for money. That's 25,000 from that account, which is sensational, and it's increasing as it continues to go. If you want to take out the profit, or if you'd like to take out the full deposit, that all could be done on a decentralized platform known as Telegram. I'm sure many of you know Telegram. Very, very good indeed. There's bigger customers than that. There's customers putting in 1 full Bitcoin. Here's another customer put in 2.75 Bitcoin. Well, it used to be 2.75 Bitcoin. This customer is growing his Bitcoin from 2.75 to 5 Bitcoin they want. And just here's another screenshot where it's jumped up to 0.281. It's on its way to 5 Bitcoin. The next product I'd like to talk about is the card. Great product, I think. Great for a number of reasons. Number one, it's cryptocurrency, not fiat. What does that mean? It means lots of people have this crypto and they don't know how to cash out. They don't know what to do and how to spend it. They have some bills to pay. They want to go on a holiday, but they've got this crypto. How do I use it? And they have to go and find somebody that purchases it off them. They have to maybe go to an exchange and try and convert it and all of that hassle. Well, that hassle is taken away with Aurum because we can provide you with your own cryptocurrency card. And all you do is you stop the bot and you send the profit onto the card and you go to the shop and spend it. Click, click, away you go. You don't need to go and talk to anybody. You don't need to go to an exchange. You don't say, hey, do you know anybody who would buy 500 of USDT? I need some cash. No, you just pop it on your card, put it in the ATM machine, take out the cash. Great, great product. Now, that's one good reason. What's the other good reason? We don't need to know your name. We don't need to know your passport. We don't need a copy of it. We don't need a utility bill. We don't require your driving license. This is no KYC. Of course, the company are developing one with KYC for those who prefer that. But this card allows you to put up to $100,000 per month without any KYC. Sensational, guys. It also works on your phone. You can link it through Apple Pay or Google Pay onto your device and start spending your crypto. So even if you made commissions in the network, that can go on the card. It doesn't have to. The profit you make in the bot can go onto the card. It doesn't have to because you can withdraw to an external wallet yourself. But this is convenient for those that like to a way to spend the money, which is sensational.
Aurum Neobank is a next-generation financial ecosystem with a fully integrated cycle. Top up your balance, earn through the trading bot, spend with your card, and restart the loop. Choose from 4 card tiers: Nova, Imperium, World Elite, and Infinity. Each unlocks access to cryptocurrency payments, low fees, and premium rewards. No verification required. Minimal fees. Physical card included. higher transaction limits. Take control of your finances and grow your wealth with Aurum Neobank.
There we go. Super video. Now, at the moment, I'm only promoting the top card, the Infinity card. It's cost $249, no monthly fees. Out of that $249, $150 comes back to you and the team. So they don't get all of that money. $150 is used for marketing purposes. There's no KYC, as you can see. The commissions is 2.2%. Now that's interesting as well. The loading fee to top up your card is 2.2%. But ladies and gentlemen, all of that also stays with the community. It doesn't go to Visa. It doesn't go to Aurum. That 2.2% stays with the team. What does that mean? That means if you were able to put this in the hands of a few people, let's say a neighbor, a cousin, a next door neighbor, somebody at work, every time they go get gas for their car or petrol or diesel, whatever they use, every time they go and have a coffee, every time they withdraw from the ATM machine, every time they pay bills or buy clothes online, guess what? You make money. You become the bank. You become the issuer of this because that's how it works. I cover this on Sunday evening on a training that we do. I'm not going to cover tonight. It's sensational. Very soon we'll be releasing our other cards. We have the Nova card, which is just $33 with no monthly fees. $66 for the Imperium, and the World Elite card is $99. They're coming up soon. These cards will not be physical cards. These three will be virtual only, so they'll only work on your Apple Pay and your Google Pay. That's fine. But I think the best one is the best one is the $249 because it allows you to put on $100,000 per month, which is sensational. You can also get paid to infinity levels of depth in your organization if you qualify by certain ranks. Again, we'll cover that at training, guys. It is sensational. I'd like to show you a transaction. I want you to notice that on the card, there's no name. Why? Well, we don't need to know your name. We don't need your passport. You can spend your cryptocurrency anywhere in the world where Visa and MasterCard are accepted. John is going to the shop to get some milk. Here we go, and let's see, does it accept USDT?
Here we go then, second official transaction.
No, purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you, Mina.
Thank you.
There we go. The next transaction is actually working at an ATM machine. Very interesting. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, in goes the Aurum card. Balance. Okay, so there's 5,720 on the thing. Let's do a transaction. Let's take out cash and receipt. Let's take out other. Maximum 800. And the correct. So the fee is $3.99. Accept and proceed. There we go. A solution for anyone with cryptocurrency that wants a way to spend it, a way to get it usable in the predominantly fiat world that we live in. This is the solution. Even if you've cryptocurrency outside of Aurum, you can import it to your Aurum wallet and then send it straight onto the card. You don't have to trade it. So really, really, really good product. And again, we'll cover more of that at the training. And that does bring us to the end of our presentation tonight. We've talked about our CEO, Mr. Bryan Benson, very reputable man with a lot of history in the industry, working not only for the bank at Morgan Stanley, but he worked for Binance and was a director there. We see that he's speaking at the Token 24/9 Global Convention alongside the CEO of Binance. We can see favorable reports there coming from very reputable media companies. We've looked at some of the products. We've shared a few ideas and showed you examples of some accounts tonight. We've also shown you this great product and how that works. If there is something of interest to you here, please do get back to the person that shared this information with you. And if you like what you see, why not set your account up tonight and you could be making your first profits tomorrow. If it's not for you, that's fine as well. We do appreciate your time tonight. Again, maybe thank the person for inviting you. Maybe keep an eye on it. Maybe pop into one of our other presentations and watch as this company continues to grow. With that said, everyone, thank you for your time. I hope you have a very successful rest of your evening. Good night.